Hello everyone, and it's Brandon here, also known as Mr. YouTuber. Well, and on this channel, Mr. Shotout, kind of the same thing, related. I'm going to be reacting to a video called KSI being called the N-word for 5 minutes straight by II Tix. Never heard of him. He got 3.8 million views. I know it was a year ago because I said it right here on my TV right here. So yeah, let's watch. I want you to see the reaction on my face when I watch it. Here it goes. Did you guys hear that? Let's rewind that and watch that again. But KSI used the A at the end when he said the N word, but then the guy called him the other one. It's like he knows it's the same word, right? It was just changed by his ancestors and all that. Maybe the other guy's black too, who knows? Okay. I want to stop right there. KSI, if you're watching this, JJ, because I know that's your real name, KSI. Everybody knows that's his real name, JJ, which he does kind of look like a JJ, you know what I'm saying? It's not because of because he's black, it's because, he's the type of guy to be a JJ, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I mean, no offense, but I mean, I like his brother better. I like his content a little bit more, is what I'm trying to say. I like his content, and his content is his his brother's name. For those of you who don't, I'm not talking about the ones who know. I'm talking about the one for those of you who are watching that and you don't know. His real name, his brother's name, is Deji. I never heard him say the N word or rap about it. See, this is the issue with black folks. We have to understand. Not we, because I'm not black, but I'm sorry. I meant to say is I know a lot of you would accept this message and everything if I was black, but I know I'm white, and a lot of you would say, "Oh, Brandon," who are not white would be saying, "Oh, Brandon, you'd be the last one to be talking about this. You're white, this and that." Yeah, but I had nothing to do with slavery. I had nothing to do with that word, and I wasn't around. I wasn't even born when slavery was the thing back then. I know a lot of you were not born yet either when slavery was a thing back then. We have to understand, like, we're all human beings. Should anybody be calling anybody that word? No. But black folks have to understand that, they took back a word that Europeans used to criminate them, to oppress them, and this and that. Why take back a word that was used to oppress you? That makes no sense. That's like taking back a word from someone's country. Like that's like Christopher Columbus, that's like him taking back a word from America. Like, and he's not American, he's European. See, the Americans were not the ones who enslaved, colonized, killed, and murdered, and abused, tortured, and treated everybody like animals back then. It was the Europeans. Now, was it all the Europeans? No, I'm not talking about every European. I'm talking about the ones from Spain and Italy. Because Christopher Columbus was Italian. And I'm not talking about the countries that are going on today. I'm talking about the ones back then. Because there were countries back then. European countries that were founded way even before America was founded. Go do the research. Europe has actually been around way longer than America. That's a fact. And America wasn't a country yet. It was just land. But how did the European lands were founded? How were they discovered? Were there also slave labor there too? That's what I want to know. So comment below, guys, how if you're from Europe, especially were the Europeans land founded? I'm curious to know, and everybody else is. So educate us Americans about that because I want to know how Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, and a lot of other European countries were founded. Was it off of slave labor? Was it, hey, anybody asking, hey, can we come onto the land and this and that? If the Europeans from Spain, Italy, and all them were to ask the Native American tribes, hey, can we come over to the land and be with you guys and your tribe and this and that? That would be a totally other story. But they didn't. They invaded, they stole, they colonized, they used the N word. They say all these hateful things towards Africans, natives. Natives were actually the first ones enslaved before Africans. Do the research. And then Africans, and they see. Don't allow anybody to call you the N word, especially if you're either white or black. And I say that because whites from Europe, not America, Europe, were the ones who came up with that word. Do the research. I've done the research, and if you think I didn't, you're mistaken. So KSI, don't use that word because they want you to get it. They want you to react. They want you to get in trouble. They want you to fall for it. And if I was black, I would understand how they get treated on a day-to-day basis by office authority, by the I mean it's a I know it's a hard thing to talk about because everybody gets mad, and I understand, but getting mad is not going to really help anything because it happened hundreds of years ago, thousands of millions of years ago. You can't really go back in time and change it. But what I'm trying to say is today and we all have to see, I wish I was black so I can relate to what you guys are going through because I really want to know, like I really want to experience what it's like to be black. And I know it sounds crazy for me to say that, but until like I wasn't born black, I can't help what color I was born with. I can't. And I don't really see color. I see human beings because we're all human beings. But the only reason I'm bringing up color is because of the use of the N word and why it's being used on a day-to-day basis in the world. Because nobody should be, just because you're black doesn't mean you should be saying that word. Because that's what they want. They want you to be this way. They treat you like that. They call you monkeys, they call you apes, and any animal they call you because they don't think of you as a human being because of your color. Those are the ones that actually see color and not humans because if you call someone the N word or if you treat them like it, you're no better than the slave patrol. You're no better than all these other ones, and it's not that invented the word. And the slave patrol officers back then were white. Research that too. And some of you may not agree with this. I understand, especially if you're black. But this whole N-word thing is really annoying. That this word shouldn't be thrown around, be used like it's normal, because it's not. And it's not just KSI using that word. I don't know if his brother says the word. If y'all have a video of Deji saying that word, send me the link and I'll watch it, and then maybe make a reaction video to it on my TV. Guys, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. But I understand. My ancestors were responsible for this, but I wasn't responsible. I wasn't born back then. I wasn't alive. I didn't even exist then until I was born. So I don't. Half of you weren't either. And most of you who are watching this, you could be 18, 24 through 24 years old, and this and that. It doesn't matter what age you are. Nobody should be saying that word, because black guys are human beings too. Women and children. These are black men, women, and children saying this word, and you guys understand that. Just because that slavery was a thing back then. I mean, today, if you own slaves in America or any other country, you would get deported, you'll be thrown in jail, you'll be killed on the spot because they don't tolerate it. And nobody should tolerate slavery. If you see something, say something. If you see someone being enslaved, if you see someone being beat up or whatever, and they're black or white, whatever color, and if you see something, say something. Or better yet, if you hear something, do something. So if you hear it, do something. Don't allow that to go on, or don't allow it to happen in the first place. Stop it. If someone says the N word, tell them enough is enough. Especially if you're black, stand up and say something, because they don't treat you like human beings. If they're using that word, they don't think you're a human being. They think you are an animal, and that's wrong. all the way around, flat out wrong. Joe Biden's wrong too for saying that word. You know, Joe Biden is a president. That's even worse. Okay? Joe Biden being the president of the United States of America and saying that word. I know this was years ago, but I mean, it's still wrong. You know? And I don't. If you don't like that word, like this video if you don't like that word. You know, I'm speaking the truth and this and that. Or dislike this video if you don't care and use that word on it. But KSI, man, they don't care about you, man. They just want to get a reaction on a view. So whoever's saying that word, stop, because you're gonna get in trouble and you're not gonna like the results of it. And by the way, if you say that word, it's also a sin, and the enemy, who is the devil, wants you to be saying that word because he don't think of you as human. He don't like you.